What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sitting in front of my brother's recently purchased 2020 Toyota Supra, and I want to answer the question today, did he make a mistake in purchasing this car? Especially with the 2020 Chevrolet Corvette C8 coming out. That is a car that I am actually going to purchase and hopefully be getting that sometime March or April of next year. So we've both seen a lot of comments both on our videos and other videos of people saying, why did you buy this car and not wait for the C8 when they are the same price vehicle? So I have the window sticker to his car right here. We're going to go over a ton of information. You can see this list here is all standard options that come on the car, and then here are options that you can put on the car itself. And I have a homemade window sticker for the C8. So I did my best to compare, to copy all of these to a C8, and we'll see which one is more expensive and if he made a mistake. So comment down below, was this a mistake to purchase, yes or no? Starting with the Supra, under the standard equipment, we're looking at the performance features. It has a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6-cylinder engine, 335 horsepower, 365 pound-feet of torque, and that is mated to an 8-speed automatic. If we do the same listing for the C8, we have a 6.2-liter V8, 495 and 470, mated to an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic. So on paper, with these numbers side by side, obviously the C8 has a larger engine, it has more horsepower and torque, so it looks to be a better performing car already. Moving down the list, we have rear wheel drive and launch control, an active rear diff and active exhaust for the Supra. In order to match that on the C8, it does come with a limited slip. If you want to opt for the electronically controlled limited slip, you do have to get the Z51 package in order to do that, which is a $5,000 option. There are 3 options for the C8, the 1LT, the 2LT, and the 3LT. I'm going to break down those numbers here in just a little bit. But moving back to the active exhaust, which comes standard on this, if you want to get the performance exhaust for the C8, that is a almost $1,200 option that you need to add. This has an adaptive variable sport suspension. Again, you have to get that as an option on the C8. In order to get the magnetic ride, you have to get the Z51 package, add the $5,000 again, plus $2,000 for the magnetic ride. So you're already $7,000 into options just to get the magnetic ride. And then let's move on to safety features. Both are going to come with LED headlights and LED daytime running lights. That's something that is coming standard across the board in all vehicles nowadays. The Supra is coming with pre-collision system. You have lane departure assist, speed limit info. It does have a heads-up display, which you can monitor some of that information. So if you want the heads-up display and even things like wireless charging, which the Supra comes with, you have to go up to a 2LT. Those options are not available on the 1LT. And once I get done finished with this list here, I will go over all of the pricing. So let's move down to heads-up display. You get 14-way power adjustable heated seats. In order to get that same option in the C8, again, you go to the 2LT where you can get heated and ventilated seats. Supra has a 12-speaker JBL audio system. You can get a 14-speaker Bose audio in the 2LT. And then 8.8-inch touchscreen navigation on the Supra. You get an 8-inch screen on the C8. I didn't notice that is a little bit smaller. Both come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And that is the standard equipment on the Toyota Supra. So those are all $0 options. The only option that Brian got for this car is the driver assistance package. Almost $1,200. That includes everything like the dynamic radar cruise, your blind spot, rear cross traffic, parking sensors. So the total amount for the 2020 Supra behind me, this is a premium model, $56,130. So the biggest question that I've seen is, why get a fully loaded Supra when a base C8 is $59,995? Well, right off the bat, some of these options that I've already mentioned that are standard on this car, you have to get the Z51 package in order to compete. So even if you got a 1LT, add $5,000 to that price, so you're already closing in on $65,000. So that puts you almost $8,000 over a fully loaded Supra for a 1LT. Now, things that I mentioned earlier that are not available on a 1LT in order to compete with this exact spec sitting behind me, like the heads-up display, power lumbar and wing seat adjustment, wireless charging, the heated and ventilated seats with navigation, as I mentioned earlier, memory seating, blind spot, rear cross traffic. You have to add the Z51 package to get the exhaust and the suspension. So in order to compete window sticker to window sticker, you have $56,130. You're at base price on a 2LT is $67,295. So you're already about $11,000 over a fully loaded Supra for the 2LT. Add the Z51 package because you need the exhaust, which comes with the Z51. You have to add the suspension, the magnetic ride, which is $2,000. You're closing in on a $75,000 C8 compared to a $57,000 Toyota Supra. Now what's kind of neat, I guess, with the Supra is you really only have one option, which is the driver assistance. You either take it or you don't, and that's about it on the Supra. When you go to the C8, you can spec this with any and every option that you want. You can get a fully loaded 3LT. I think it's around $115,000 if you get every single factory option. You can't really compare the Supra and the C8. It's not comparing apples to apples. You can't flip a coin and it land on C8 and be like, oh, I really wanted this Supra, because they're not even in the same price category. And that's what I think a lot of people don't really see is Chevy advertised the C8 coming out at $59,995, but no one is really going to be buying a base C8. In today's market, technology, unfortunately, is kind of overtaking the cars. You can't just have a raw mechanical feeling vehicle anymore. Just like my 2010 Audi R8 was. It was a 6-speed gated manual. It had navigation. It wasn't touchscreen. It was just a driving car. There were no aids on it other than the backup camera. It did have sensors and heated seats. So, I mean, it had some luxury features to it, but there was no tech. There was no heads-up display, no wireless charging, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. All of those things are becoming a standard on vehicles now. So if you buy a 1LT at $59,995 and you have no options on it, I really think that is going to significantly hurt your resale value because at that point, for a second buyer, they're going to see a fully loaded Supra or a base C8, and they're going to want to go for the fully loaded Supra. So from a first buyer perspective, buying a 1LT is not a smart move unless you're planning to keep the car, you're going to track it or something like that. And plus, with the C8, you can really spec it out. So you're not going to be getting into this car under $65,000. I think even if you add the Z51 to the 1LT, you're already at the $65,000 mark. My specific Corvette C8, if you haven't seen that video, I'll have it down in the description below. My car is going to be about $75,000. But with that said, people do have budgets in buying these cars. So if you're going to get a base 1LT and that's your budget, that's what you want to spend, great. For Brian, he didn't want to spend over $60,000 for a vehicle. So even with the 1LT having zero options, it wasn't an option for him. So he got a fully loaded Supra for under $60,000. Which is awesome. And personally for me, my budget, I can go a little bit more. I can go to $75,000 and feel more comfortable with that. So everyone's going to have a budget, and just because someone says, oh, it's only $10,000 more, $15,000 more than the Supra, it's easy for someone else to tell you it's only 10 grand more, but even 10 grand is a significant difference in putting up your own money to be able to purchase a vehicle. One other thing that I wanted to kind of transition to is cross-shopping these vehicles. I don't think someone looking for a Supra is going to want to spend a little bit more for a C8, and someone looking for a C8 is not going to go to a Supra. If you've grown up a Chevy person, you're a Corvette person, you're not going to be looking at the Supra. If you love JDM and you love Supras and just that import style, you're not going to be looking for an American muscle car. But for us, we enjoy and like both of the cars. Brian absolutely loves the Supra. I think it's an awesome car. I like the C8. Brian likes the C8. We just have a difference of opinion in which one we actually want to own. And I think it's going to be awesome to have both of these vehicles on the channel and actually compare them, because that leads me to my last point, is the performance of both of these cars. As I mentioned earlier, we have a 6.2 liter V8 compared to a 3 liter turbocharged inline 6. And from what we've seen, the Supras are dynoing at almost 400 pound-feet of torque to the wheels, so they are pretty much almost on par with the C8. If you put maybe $1,500, $2,000 into the Supra, you could easily get 500 wheel horsepower in that vehicle, and it will be a serious competitor to a stock C8. Now, in order to even mess with the C8, you're going to have to put a lot more money into it, supercharge it or something like that. So with all this information out of the way, going back to the original question, hopefully you commented down below, did Brian make a mistake in purchasing the Supra? Honestly, I think both cars are really good. They have a lot of things to offer. The Supra is a little more simple in that everything is standard and you either want navigation and the driver assistance and all that, or you don't. On the C8, you can spec it out as crazy as you want with all the different trim options, with this different seats, interior colors, exterior colors. You have a lot of exterior colors on the Supra as well, but in regards to both of the cars, I think they're really great no matter which one you want to go with. But at the end of the day, you pick what you want, and that goes for anything other than cars. That's why there's a ton of different options out there for people, because everyone has a different preference. So at the end of the day, did Brian make a mistake in purchasing the Supra? I don't think he did. He absolutely loves this car. He's already put over 100 miles on it in 2 days, and this is a dream car for him. This is something that he's wanted for about a year since they decided to come out with it again. It's an iconic car representing the MK4, I think, in a great modern day, kind of transitioning to how vehicles are going nowadays. So I think it's an awesome car. We're gonna have plenty more content on it alongside the C8, since that is a vehicle I am purchasing, and we'll be able to compare the two and really see on-road performance of the two and just how they are in general, how it is to daily drive them, compare all the tests that we normally do with them along with parts and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more videos on the Supra, more videos on C8 content, and then eventually when I take delivery of that car, it's gonna be pretty special to have both of them side by side. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.